I had to think very hard about, am I hyped for WrestleMania? Am I hyped for Stand and Deliver? Now, mind you, the card for Stand and Deliver is not bad. It's not bad at all. So you expect that this episode before Stand and Deliver had to mean something a lot. Had to mean something substantial. I look at what I'm shown here. We got a lot of matches. 7 of them. We got 7 matches on this show. 7. And most of them feel rushed. Like they should have been done weeks ago. I'm being honest here. It doesn't mean the matches were bad. They just felt rushed. And then the storylines going into Stand and Deliver. Some of them make good sense. Some okay. And then you're going like, why are they doing this now when you could have waited until after Stand and Deliver? When it comes to the Battle Royal, it's understandable. But they open with the Battle Royal. Honestly, I think they should have closed with the Battle Royal. I think that's what they should have done. And I'm sticking to that. I believe the Battle Royal should have ended the show. And then everyone who's going to participate in the match for the Fatal 5-Way, it's a Fatal 5-Way, for the North American Championship should have been done. Because they've done all the build that's necessary for the championship already with Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes. There's no problem. They just wanted to do this for the North American Championship, which I'm alright with, but it should have closed. In the end, Axiom wins. Axiom wins. The guy that has basically been slighted 3 times. One gets nailed. Another time, he wants to get something. There was something else going on. And then the last one, which is the Battle Royal. He now gets a shot. Do I believe that's good booking? Honestly, no. Because I think the person that would have been interesting would have been Dempsey. Charles Dempsey would have been an interesting situation to go up against the current Wes Lee of the North American title holder. I think Dempsey should have won. Mind you, I like Axiom. Don't get me wrong. I actually like Axiom. I do. As a high flyer, he is a very good mix of a lot of submission and high flying. Is he better than Wes Lee? No, when it comes to high flying. Wes is way better. He's a way better high flyer. I've always said Desmond Xavier is my boy. Desmond's my boy. He will always be my boy. But if you're going to compare, is he better at ground? No, it's Axiom. But who's better in flipping over the place? It is Wes Lee. But I would have liked to see Charlie Dempsey there. That's just me. Let's move on. Tyler Bates versus the match that's going to determine who controls Chase U. This made sense. When it comes to Tyler Bates, he was building up momentum to go into the match for the 8 mixed tag. And this is about the control of Chase U. Either it's going to stay in Andre Chase's hands, or it's going to be destroyed and remodeled into Joe. Do I believe Alba Rain is scary? No. Do I believe that she might not be acting that good in her role? Yes. But do I believe Schism could truly make something interesting if they won Chase U? Yeah. So this made sense. And seeing Duke Hudson not giving a damn that he's frustrated goes along with the story. I'm fine with it. He's upset because he's no longer the special one. It's Tyler Bates now that the big strong boy is now the focus, and Duke can't stand it. That's the truth. Now, let's get this over. What is her name again? Valentina. I believe her name is Valentina. I keep forgetting her because we don't show her often. And this is where it makes no sense. You're now having time for a match that's a month old. When it comes to Elektra Lopez and Valentina, there you go, Valentina, it was a month ago this happened. Now, I don't know if one of them got hurt or they just didn't decide to do anything for a whole month. But when it came down to it, why did this match even happen here? That's precious time that could have been saved to build more into Stand and Deliver. I don't agree with this match. And in the end, Elektra whooped her ass. Whooped that ass. Now, I will say this. Do I like Elektra Lopez? I love her intro. Not because she walks in like a model. She walks in confident. She walks in like she can be dominant. She walks in like she is a main eventer. But does she wrestle like a main eventer? No. She does not. But that can always change. She's in NXT for a reason. So she's got the look down. She has the talking ability down. She has the persona down. Fine. Just the wrestling needs work. Valentina was a bit better than she was. And the kicker that got me was that pretty much you got a different dynamics. You got one small woman in Valentina, and you got Elektra like this. And you would think that you would be able to take advantage of it with her power game, but I didn't feel it. I'm just saying. Alright, the last chance match. When it came to Sorika, when it came to Indy Hartwell, when it came to Ivy Nile. One shot left. Whoever gets in this gets into the ladder match. That will be at Stand and Deliver. I'm going to tell you. I think, out of any of those women who has great potential, it's Indy Hartwell. The woman who looks the most unique. That is Isla Nile. She is like, I know there's a lot of muscled out women. But she looks more jacked than any of the women on the main roster. She does. She looks more jacked than anyone. The only person that comes close to being as jacked as her is Bianca Belair. So those are the only two that I can see that are the most jacked on the roster. And who looks the most beautiful facial-wise? That's Sorika. But the kicker here is even though Sorika does not have the same potential like a Indy Hartwell, and who's most unique in a Iron Nile. When you look at Sorika, she looks like if she's done correctly, could be more successful than the other two. Even though she was the one who's the most weakest there. She has the potential to be more better than both of them. But it's going to depend on their booker. And I want to make that clear. I'm not even against Sorika. I actually think she's beautiful. She's a gorgeous looking woman. Yeah, she's only like this, let's be honest. She's not like Elektra Lopez, like, boom. She's not. She doesn't have the cock diesel muscles of Ivy Nile. She doesn't have the polish of Indy Hartwell. She doesn't. But out of all of that, taking away, I think she looks beautiful, she does have something there that could be successful more than either one of them if they book her right. I'm just saying. Now, the match I didn't care about because I'm not feeling it. The person that has been shown, Eddie Thorpe, goes up against Bowman. Excuse me. Sore throat. Didn't feel it. Not because I hate him. Not because he doesn't have talent. The thing that got me confused, that's turning me off, is his vignette. And this vignette of him being being a DJ, and him saying, I'm going to make sure all my people is taken care of. Which people are we talking about? Are we talking about the people that he plays his music for as a DJ? Or something else? Is he Native American? Is he European? Is he American? Does he have something special about him, like a Dragunov or McDonough? I don't see None of it. And then worse, they decided, whoever booked this, to make it difficult for him to beat Bowman, who should not be difficult to beat. You're making this guy so special, but in the end, you make Bowman have more of a defense. I'm sorry, I don't agree with it. That made no sense. It doesn't have to be one-on-one booking for wrestling. And I'm not saying to make him like an 80s Styles wrestler, but I'm not feeling it. And the kicker for that was that Bowman deserved to have some defense in offense. But you made it so almost dead even. Why does Thorpe feel important? Eddie Thorpe feels like nothing because you made sure that the other opponent was almost practically on the same level as him instead of making him a little bit lower. Or maybe making him a little bit higher where Thorpe had to struggle at least a little bit, but not be so damn competitive with him. Because sometimes you need to make sure they're not always dead even. Particularly if this is the first time you're seeing him, a first impression is everything. And no matter what a Just Alex or JD would say on, you don't need to have character. You don't need to have story. Just throw them in the damn ring. Bullshit. I'm sorry. Bullshit. There are times, especially in a debut, you need to have a little bit of character. You need to have a little bit of story. Or in this case, it's a debut and you make a vignette mean so much, you gotta back the vignette up. Because that's part of this bastard's caliber. Part of his character. Part of what makes him special. And the most I saw is a little bit of turntable, a little bit of a wolf running across the screen, and he has to be so damn dead even with Bowman. I didn't feel shit. I'm sorry, that was stupid. I wanted more. Now, Roxanne Perez wanted to get back in the ring. She's now cleared to go back in the ring, but because she had heat exhaustion or dehydration and she had anxiety, she got laid out. That's why she passed out. And it is HBK that's telling her you should wait, let the match happen, let the new champion have a couple of wins under her belt, and you will be the first to deal with it. And Roxanne Perez made it clear, I have problems with anxiety. I know it. I have to do this because it is important to let people know like myself that even with anxiety, you can get anywhere if you put your heart and soul into it. Now here's the thing. If this is a storyline, I don't know where they're going to go with this when it comes to Roxanne Perez doing a fake anxiety angle. Now I'm not saying she isn't. Maybe she really is having a problem with anxiety because I got anxiety with depression. And I can understand how that is. If anyone has anxiety, depression, I'm not saying that this is exactly how you are. But when anxiety, depression comes on, at least for my life, it's like a wave. Particularly when I get depressed. It's like if you're at the ocean on the beach and a wave hits you and it keeps hitting you over and over again, multiple waves that does not go away until it wants to go away. And you can do whatever you want. You can try and get up off the beach. You can try and walk away, but you sink into the sand. The waves keep hitting you. You call for some help. The waves still keep hitting you. The sun beats down on you. You go like this, you still feel the waves on you. And anxiety is the same for me as well. When that wave hits, it hits hard, it hits fast, and it messes with me. Now, if she really has anxiety problems, seeing that they're trying to make it into a story, if it's true, there's nothing wrong with it. Throwing a little realism into the story is perfectly fine. And particularly, it could help someone with anxiety. As I've been doing YouTube for 13 years. No, not 13, I'm sorry. How can I say this? If anyone's never seen my story, my history, why I came on here. I came on here because of anxiety with depression that was brought on due to the fact I couldn't work anymore. I have a disease in my hip. I fell at work, and after I fell at work because it exacerbated my hip problem, I couldn't work anymore. And then I found out later I started having really bad anxiety with depression problems, which was messing with my blood pressure. I needed an outlet. This is it. 13 years ago when all this started for me. And in 2012 is when I started doing YouTube. I've been doing this 11 years. I found out all the problems I started beginning in 2010. So I can understand what it's like to have anxiety. Probably had it all my life. Depression. Probably had it all my life. It just got really bad when I got stuck at home. And I always say something to people about anxiety and depression. So if she's doing this, if it's real, more power to them for doing it. The question now is, can Sean really book it correctly? This is key. You guys got to understand this. If this is real, counting if it's real, because it might be still a work, they need to book this carefully. They need to book this correctly. Because it's not just about pissing off people with anxiety. This is about pissing people off with anxiety and trying to encourage them. Many people will get pissed off if you do a disease or sickness the wrong way. It can happen, and it has happened. So they got to be very careful with this. If it's real, and if it is real, I commend them for going there, but they better get this correct because they got to book this correctly with Roxanne. They got to. They got to book it to make her look like her anxiety is messing with her, if she really has it. And to make it mean something. I would rather see her not win the ladder match and try to focus on making the anxiety a question where she goes on like this, and then she has to figure a way to be able to really overcome her problem and rise to the occasion and make herself into a role model for people who have anxiety at her age. But that's if they'll go there. If they just throw the damn title back onto her when the ladder match happens, it was a waste of time. Personally, it is. If it's fake. I'm just saying. Let me do Drew versus Walker. Drew Gulak versus Hank Walker. Was it a good match? Yes. Did they have a lot of chain wrestling? Yes. Did it mean something? I don't know. Because you got the teacher and the student that could have gone on Stand and Deliver. Because they made a very strong and very good storyline out of Drew Gulak trying to look for new talent. And Hank, who worked hard as security coming into NXT. Because, as you know, trainees, they got to go through security before they're allowed to start wrestling. And they did a rise. Why wasn't this on Stand and Deliver? Why wouldn't they make this a match? I don't know why. Because particularly, it's going to be 3 hours. Unless they're going to do 2 hours and Stand and Deliver, I think it's going to be 3. Because they got a lot of triple threats, fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way, all that stuff. They could have fit this in, at least this match. But that's just me. In the end, Drew, he won because Dempsey helped him. But I really think they could have put this on the show. I really think it should have been on the show. They can move something off. Like an exhibition match for the women. Is there going to be an exhibition match for the women in WrestleMania? I think there is. I'm just saying. Okay. Tony D. Guys, I'm going to be honest here. They should have never done this with Jensen and Briggs when it came to Tony D and the Underboss. I really believe they didn't need this match. They need it. They need them there because the only thing that mattered was Jensen getting his kiss. That's all that mattered. The Don and the Underboss really didn't have anything special here. Even though Jensen had been given the opportunity with Briggs because of Kiana James. And I know I'm going to say, well, dude, that's the reason why they did it. They could have done something after Stand and Deliver because they could have devoted more time to the show to build Stand and Deliver to make it more important. I'm just saying. They could have been set up to be the first ones to go after the ones who won the match. I'm just saying. And when it comes to the vignette, I'm going to say for Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, it was good. Last thing I'll talk about is the signing of the contract for an unsanctioned match. Now, I'm not going to lie, I missed it. I missed part of it. I saw part of it, but I had to go to the bathroom, and by the time I got back, I missed it. So I don't know if Johnny actually showed up or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll go and check it out after it's been replayed so I can see and I can understand. But I don't know if he was there. But I'm sure of this, that this is going to be one of the key matches of the show. 18-month, I think, is very important. No, is it 16 to 18 months? I think 16 months to build to this. Do I believe it's going to be good? Yeah, I do believe it's going to be good. Shame there's no title involved. But I'm not against it. This is one of the things I am looking forward to. So do I believe they did this show correctly? No. A lot of things going to be left for the next tapings. And one match could have been put on the card. Why didn't they put Hank Walker and Drew Gulak on the card? It wouldn't have hurt the card to have this match because it's a story that does deserve it. But that's just me, and I'm sure I'm missing something. But honestly, I'm leaving things out. I'm honestly leaving things out. There's maybe one thing I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting. But I'm leaving it out on purpose. Because I want to see what's going to happen next week. I'm leaving one thing out. But it's just me. And I hope you enjoy this NXT review. Please give me a comment below. And I will probably do Stand and Deliver Monday. I'm making it clear, guys. Understand. I'm doing this today. I'm doing Dynamite tomorrow. I'm going to do Impact. And if I can, watch WrestleVerse United in the same night. Then I got to get some rest. And then I'll probably look at SmackDown. And that's before when it comes to WrestleMania. So then I got to do WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday. So I will probably do Stand and Deliver Monday. If I'm not so wiped out and exhausted, I'll probably do it Tuesday, but I probably will do it Monday. I hope you'll watch it. Peace.